Today I want to talk about a common scam I keep seeing in ads on social media. I was thinking about doing this as one of my Wham Bam scam series, but I want to unpick this one at a slightly more careful and relaxed pace. This is by no means a new scam, but the fact that it's still around probably means scammers think it's worthwhile to do, which means people are still getting scammed by it, so I think that makes it worth talking about. Here's a typical example of what these scams might look like. This one I found on Facebook, masquerading as a link to a news article, this one claiming to be from the BBC, and they often make some tantalising or surprising sort of statement, in this case that the allegations against Zoe Ball have been confirmed. Now, I wasn't aware of any allegations against Zoe Ball, and that's not even something I would really expect. So to a curious person, that immediately makes this interesting. People want to click on it to find out what this might possibly be. So let's take a look at where this went. I opened a link in a safe environment just in case of any potential malware, but there wasn't any in this case. But this is still a scam. The link went first to this page, which at glance looks like a BBC News page. It isn't a BBC News page. It's just a mock-up on a completely different website. Everything on this page is a lie and doesn't even match up with what was claimed on the thing we first clicked on. Instead of some confirmed allegations about the celebrity, instead we've got this entirely fictional story about her being called a liar on an ITV morning show. The page then goes on to describe a supposed argument between Zoe and the show's presenter, which starts off about income, then quickly turns into a spiel about some get-rich-quick scheme which the celebrity has discovered, where you just put money in and it automatically trades it for you on the stock market for a guaranteed profit. Total and utter snake oil. I feel it's important to reiterate at this point, everything on this page is a lie. This interview never took place. This conversation did not happen. This celebrity did not make these claims. This magical investment system is a scam. It continues into what is supposed to look like a piece of investigative journalism, where a staff member tries out the system, and despite their skepticism, suddenly becomes surprised that it all works, and wow, they made a huge profit, and look, here's a, obviously fake, bank statement to prove it. And here are some short instructions on how to click the link and get started for yourself. The page also claims that this interview was taken off air and can no longer be viewed. How convenient that you can't verify their story. As is often the case, there are various places where it's stated or hinted that this offer has limited availability. This is just to create a sense of urgency, and when people act on things they believe are urgent, caution is often pushed to the back of their minds. Further down, there are some supposed comments from just a few minutes ago, even though there's no mechanism on this page to post a comment. All of them glowingly endorsing and gushing about this miraculous supposed automatic investment scheme. So just to show you what happens if you follow that link, it goes to a scam website called Immediate Apex AI, which, surprise surprise, is hosted on the same domain as the supposed BBC News page. It claims you can make £950 to £2,200 daily with the world's most intelligent stock trading team. There's a form to enter your details, and these are the kind of details you should be careful about sharing on the internet. But we'll come back to that in a moment. There are endorsements from other well-known people, including Graham Norton and James Dyson. Again, totally fake. These people did not say these things about this service because this service is a scam. There are claims about how complete beginners are making immediate earnings, and you can too. And as well as the fake celebrity endorsements, there are also fake comments, all positive, and more fake testimonials, all positive. So what is the actual scam here? Well, I'm not absolutely sure. But I did sign up with one of my scam-baiting email accounts, Spatula Grime, just to try to get a better look. After submitting your details, it redirects you to a site that I think that I can only really describe as very jankalicious. The profile page already appears to be populated with a test address in Canada. Those weren't just example values, it let me submit that form with that data in it. At no point was I asked to create a password for this account I had supposedly just set up, although there did appear to be a tab for changing the password I'd not set up. It says I can't do anything until I make a deposit, but on the deposit tab there's no way to do anything. Maybe I'm supposed to enter my bank details first, but I'm obviously not going to try that. I didn't have any fake details to enter there. So not exactly sure what this is, but I can say without any shadow of a doubt, this definitely is a scam. I hope that's obvious to everyone. At a guess, I would say this scam is one of three things. Firstly, this might just be phishing. Maybe this whole thing exists for no other reason than to capture the personal and contact and banking details of the scam victim, so that later a scammer in a call centre can phone the victim masquerading as their bank, and because they have that personal information that was volunteered, they might be able to sound plausible. Nextly, this might just be a straightforward attempt to siphon money directly from the victim. Maybe if you do add bank details, some deposit button appears and allows you to pay money into this thing, which you will never see again. And depending on how they've set that up, it might be that they try to take more money than it looks like you agreed to pay in. And finally, maybe it's that, but with a slightly longer game to it. For example, you pay in some funds, then the system claims you've made some profit of some sort, but maybe tries to persuade you to pay in more money for a withdrawal fee or something like that, to get you to part with more of your money, but of course with no eventual payout because this whole thing is a scam. If you've got other ideas about what this might be, do let me know in the comments. If you see anyone offering investment advice in the comments or trying to argue that things like this are genuine, you should assume those people are also scammers. Get-rich-quick schemes don't generally exist. Well, they do, but the people getting rich quick are the scammers, not you. So in summary, the profile of these things is as follows. They claim to have a surprising revelation about something a celebrity said or did. The claim is something to do with a scheme that guarantees to generate income with little or no effort or risk. There's an impressed sense of urgency. There are glowing, gushy endorsements and testimonials. They try to piggyback on the credibility of well-known news sites or other websites, but the page is fake. They repeatedly urge you to click a link. And they are common on social media platforms in various forms, including page ads, video ads here on YouTube even, and apparently shared stories. Of course, I reported this ad on Facebook, but honestly that's pretty useless. Most of the time you get a response saying they didn't find anything that went against their standards, and even on the comparatively rare occasions when they do agree it's unacceptable, that response and action may be days, sometimes weeks after the report. And very often they never even respond at all. So in most cases, the scam ad probably gets to run its course and scam whoever it was going to scam anyway. At the time of recording this, 2 days after reporting this scam, there's still no response from Facebook. I'm not holding my breath. Now, of course, one potential way to avoid your exposure to these scams is simply not to use the social media platforms on which they appear. That's true, but also not that practical for a lot of people. I have friends, such as former colleagues, where the only way we stay in regular touch is social media. And for maintaining that contact, it's just as much about their choice of social media platform as mine. So whilst avoiding these platforms would solve the problem of all the bad things that happen on these platforms, it isn't realistic that everyone will be willing or able to do that, as it sort of means losing touch with people. So I think probably the next best thing is to try to make sure people know about scams, which of course is why we're here now. Anyway, you might be savvy enough to see right through these scams the first moment you see them, and if that's you, well done, keep it up. Don't let your guard down. But if I could perhaps encourage you to think about your own friends and family, and if there's anyone you know who's more vulnerable than yourself, and maybe try to find the time to help them protect themselves from being scammed. Teaching people to recognise and avoid scams is a good thing to do, so I hope this video ends up being useful to at least one person in that regard. Thanks for watching, stay safe from scams, and I hope to see you again soon.